Good morning, everybody. This is Trip on All Things Be Considered, where we consider and analyze anything and everything. Hope you all are doing well today. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, to say the least. We have the long anticipated midterms, a political red wave that failed to materialize, but nonetheless resulted in the House going back to Republican control, and the political division, especially now with the announcement of former President Trump to come back in 2024, that political division rages onward. We'll continue to see how all of this plays out. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that I am not hearing economic YouTubers discuss enough over the last few weeks, and that is the proposed Kroger-Albertsons merger. If you've been paying attention to prices and you've been paying attention to inflation, um, we're seeing that the price of non more non-essential consumer goods are starting to go down. It's slow. It's not as fast as many of us would like to see, but they are going down. And I was out in the department stores just taking a look around last night in my own city, and I do see some evidence that, I mean, you've got lots of sales. You've got slash prices of all sorts of things like TVs, smartphones, even computers. You're seeing a price decrease. You're seeing Black Friday type sales starting early. You're seeing the slashing of prices on all sorts of non-essential goods. What's going on there? Well, what's going on is that as inflation continues to rise and as people become increasingly pinched in their household budgets, they're spending more and more of their money on non-discretionary items like food and fuel and energy, and they're spending less on things like TVs and smartphones and video games and so on. And you're going to see that demand drop, and you're going to see more and more sales as the big retailers try to adjust to this. Now, where does the Kroger Albertsons merger fit into all this? Well, as the food market becomes increasingly unstable, businesses like Kroger and Albertsons are trying to come up with a strategy that would enable them to compete with the big box retailers like Amazon and Walmart, especially in regards to the food market. Now, that's part of the story, and that's the official narrative that you're getting from the big business interests that would like to see this merger go through. They are saying that they need to put it through in order to compete with larger non-unionized retail businesses. I'll tell you why this is incredibly disturbing with a looming recession and a grim economic outlook for 2023. Because Walmart has recently it's recently been reported that even wealthier shoppers are feeling pinched by the specter of inflation, and more wealthy shoppers, more high income shoppers are switching over to Walmart for their grocery store needs, and Walmart, noticing this, are starting to change their business model. They are starting to come up with perks and various mechanisms to attract and keep higher income consumers. And as you have the mergers like Kroger and Albertsons come through, you're going to see a rise in prices, because why the hell wouldn't they do such a thing? You're going to see a rise in prices across the board for competitor stores, for stores that are not Walmart. And so in my area, and this is the case for most people that live in any larger city in the United States, what are your grocery store options? It's most likely you probably have a Walmart somewhere in your immediate area, and then you probably have these various grocery stores in that area. Chances are at least one of those grocery stores is already owned by Kroger or by one of the food giants that controls a significant portion of our food commerce in the US. What is that going to do to choice, and available prices if this Kroger Albertsons merger goes through? It's going to squeeze consumers across the board, but it's going to further squeeze poorer consumers. Poorer consumers will suffer. Wealthier consumers continue to migrate into Walmart, and Walmart continues to change its own atmosphere to accommodate uh, more affluent consumers. In essence, Walmart starts becoming a little more like Target, and the poorer consumers have to take whatever they can get during whatever they can get for the grocery stores that are available to them. This is coming at a time of looming recession. This is coming at a time where more and more people are feeling more economically pinched, and at a time where there's already food deserts. We already have many food deserts throughout the inner cities all over the country. And this is I don't see any benefit from such a merger if it goes through. And let's be real here, I think it is going to go through because the regulators in this country really don't have the teeth and the resolve to stop such a thing. And it is going to be bad for the food market, and you're going to see those prices continue to rise. You're going to continue to see this absolutely criminal shrinkflation, because again, there these companies, whether it's Walmart, and by the way, Walmart is squeezing their suppliers. It actually resembles the whole fiasco between Walmart and Rubbermaid many years ago, and I'll put a link in the description for that one. But holy moly, I go and look at the non-food items in these stores, and there's 15, 20, 30% reduction in prices in some cases. So if you're looking for a TV or a smartphone or a computer or even a used car anytime soon, wait on it. Wait as long as you can, because in the coming months you're going to pay a lot less for some of these products in the coming months, but it's not going to be for a good reason. It's going to be because we're on the cusp of a deep recession. Now I'm going to read you something here from the South Seattle Emerald. Local grocery store workers protest Kroger-Albertsons merger. And it says here, the reasons for the protest. Regarding the merger, Seattle City Council member Tammy J. Morales, who had voted against ending hazard pay for grocery store workers in the city in August, told, and now who would be for that one? As though the pandemic is over. I've got a news flash for you. It isn't, but I'm digressing. This merger, they, meaning the actions of Kroger and Albertsons, are meant to cut costs and increase profits. This has the potential to dramatically increase food costs, decrease food access, and lead to worker layoffs if stores are closed. I worry that a merger like this will increase food insecurity in low-income neighborhoods in Seattle and every other community in the country. According to Reuters, on November 8th, a U.S. federal court denied requests by the attorneys general in California, Illinois, and Washington, D.C. to temporarily block Albertsons' $4 billion dividend payment. but the payment remained blocked by a Washington state court order. Bribery to the shareholders. That, to look the other way on this, but that court set a hearing for November 10th, during which a Washington state judge extended the temporary restraining order until another hearing on Thursday, November 17th. And then there was one more paragraph I wanted to read here. It says, on November 9th, members of UFCW passed out leaflets across the Pacific Northwest to customers shopping in the stores where they're employed, urging community members to sign on to their joint letter calling on the Federal Trade Commission to stop the Albertsons Kroger merger. The letter continues, the bottom line is that this proposed merger is bad for workers, ding, 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 bad for consumers, bad for communities, bad for the economy, indeed, bad for everyone not associated with Cerberus Capital Management or owning shares in these two companies. We urge you to take immediate action to stop the special dividend payment and block this merger altogether. I absolutely agree with that. And if you look back, and I'll provide a link for this too, you've got this this dastardly interview by Bert Flickinger, complete shill for big business, food monopolistic interests, talking about why the FTC is just way too harsh on the industry, and why this merger is supposedly going to be good for consumers, especially when the economy picks up next year. I think those were his words. The economy is not going to pick up next year. It's time to bite the bullet, and it's a really, really sad thing to have to look around and see the evidence for this everywhere. So do whatever you can to depend as little as you can on these evil, supermassive grocery store chains. Grow whatever food you can, and so on and so on. Because again, the situation is messy, and especially now with the Republicans about to control the House again, we just don't have the congressional resolve to confront this sort of thing more harshly and work out policies that would benefit all consumers at a time where the food market is unstable, especially globally, and at a time where we're looking at a deepening recession. Keep an eye on this story because the developments are interesting, to say the least. This is Trip, all things be considered. See you next time.